Enjoy Sanath Jayasuriya's magnificent 340 as he bats for 4 days and punishes India's bowlers by breaking all sorts of records on the way to the 4th highest individual score in Test match history.
Good confident shot off the last ball of the first over, 4 without loss. Well, whether it's 5:30 or midday, when Jayasuriya gets a short ball outside the off stump and he feels it's going to be 4, he takes advantage of it.
Very noticeable, very short and wide. Kuravilla can't afford to bowl there, and just sweetly timed by Jayasuriya. No one moved.
Very well timed. Ball sped to the boundary. Really didn't look to put any power in that at all. It was all timing. And as you said, Ranjit, not the horizontal bat shot. The bat here almost straight as he went through with it. Not the traditional square cut.
Absolutely exquisite timing. There was 4 written all over that shot as soon as it hit Jayasuriya's bat.
Reassuring sound to Jayasuriya's bat this morning, as there was yesterday. Lofted over the top. This man has all the confidence in the world, and many of the shots as well.
Jayasuriya picks it up very quickly as soon as Kulkarni gave it a little bit of air and hit it into those empty spaces. Jayasuriya finds those empty spaces very inviting. Left arm spinner spinning into him, not hitting across the line, and a good cricket shot.
That's the second time he's got the under edge. He gets 4 runs for it this time, but was lucky he didn't drag it back into his stump. He now faces Chauhan. Well, I think Rahul Dravid, Saurav Ganguly, looks back to the bowler and says, it's okay, I'll take all the knocks you want me to take. But he's had a couple already for the day, and with Jayasuriya playing that shot so consistently, he could well get a few more. Well, this time he doesn't get in the way, and Jayasuriya puts a full toss away for 4, but he will feel very, very nervous in that position, Saurav Ganguly.
And that's a great shot. Just a little bit short. Jayasuriya, plenty of room to get back. Slow wicket, picked out his spot and hit it perfectly between the two fielders into the gap. 4 runs.
And he's gone again. The result the same.
Yes, not very good bowling from Chan. Going round the wicket and just giving Jayasuriya far too much room. He's got to angle it in. It's not a bad idea to bowl round the wicket, but you can't pitch it where he's got this one. It just gives him too much room. He's very strong on the cut, timed to perfection. He really has to bowl a lot straighter and make him play forward. He's got the arm ball, which goes on with the arm, where you can get an LBW bowling round the wicket. So he's doing the right things. He's just not pitching the ball in the right place.
And it goes just fractionally short, and Jayasuriya pounces on it. Another boundary to bring up his 50. Very, very good knock so far from Sanath Jayasuriya. 82 for 1.
A bit of movement.
It brings up the 100 for Sri Lanka, and very positive style. This is where Jayasuriya is such a good player. You've only got to be short a fraction, a little bit too full or a little bit too wide, and he's onto it in a flash.
Picked it up and went right through with it, flow of the bat, and picking the gap and bringing 4 runs.
That's a lovely shot through the offside. He's again found the gap. Another boundary for Jayasuriya.
Once again, a flashing cover drive by Jayasuriya, waiting for that bad ball, the O-pitch delivery with a little bit of width, and Jayasuriya just leaning onto it.
That shot is his strength, Jayasuriya, waiting for it and getting it fine. What the Australians call a back cut, and getting 4 more runs for it. Right between the two fielders. absolutely bisecting them. They're not too far apart, going directly between them for a second 4 in the over to move to 95.
Kulkarni adjusting his line on that occasion, but Jayasuriya able to pick the spot.
And he beats Corabella. That'll carry him to 99. 3 4s in the over. And Jayasuriya knows nothing about the nervous 90s here. So he's within 1 of 100. And he's decided to get there as quickly as he possibly can. Have to hurry. But he gets it. He'll pick up the extra run as well. So Sanath Jayasuriya moving very quickly in the course of a single over from 91 to 101. Superb innings by him. And not only his teammates here, but his supporters around the ground. And no doubt those of you watching on television sets around the country will be rising to this left-handed opening batsman. That is a cheeky shot. A very cheeky shot indeed. Just a little dab down towards third man. Didn't seem to have the room or the shortness of length to make it. But of course he's been in there for a long time. He's got 100. And that was perfectly played.
That's a shot he's played very well all day. And again another boundary.
But that is just well timed. Went in the air fair way, but in the end, Jayasuriya very strong off the back foot. It's that back foot way across, gives himself every opportunity, and the bat flows through the line. Certainly has scored very strongly square of the wicket.
Oh, that's another lovely shot. Delicate. Played it late.
Rajesh Chauhan, the off spinner. I gotta ask for it. Nice juicy full toss. And he's got it through. Jayasuriya, after being watchful for some time, just putting away yet another 4.
And that's a single that'll bring up 150. It's been a fabulous innings by this explosive left-hander from Sri Lanka. He's just gone on to show all his admirers that he can bat in a test match too and play a long innings. It's been a terrific effort. This is his highest test score.
Jayasuriya had the reputation of getting big runs in the one-day game quickly, but he's turned it on today in this test match.
A bit of googly on that, but it didn't matter. Ball's very short indeed. And Jayasuriya on this slow pitch had all the time to go back and pull it against the spin, because it was one of the rare googlies we've seen. Full mid-wicket for 4.
Yes, you see Kumbli trying something different. Be a good idea to try something different, but very poorly pitched, and Jayasuriya, knowing that the offside is fully packed, plenty of time to step inside that, and you see their record partnership.
The ball has been taken right from the start. Magnificent cover drive. Well, he's played a number of handsome strokes. That's his 21st 4, and none of the previous 20 have been quite as authoritative as that.
That shot good as any. Pitched up to him and just leaning on. You see the force in which that ball fed to the boundary. There was 4 written all over it from the time it left the bat.
There's no third man, and that'll go for another 4, so that raises the 300 partnership between these two. And that'll go away again. That cut shot is very productive for Jayasuriya, as it is for most left-handers, but he is expert on it, and put that away for the second boundary in the over. So it's been a flying start for Sri Lanka. Well, he's gone down the ground this time, hit that very hard indeed, and picks up another boundary for it. So Sanath Jayasuriya.
Jayasuriya had been quite quiet, making runs into that mid-on region, but picking that gap, going through the aerial route, and 4 more runs to him.
Hand clapping goes up around the ground here in anticipation of Jayasuriya's double 100. Well, he's got it. Doesn't have to worry about getting a single there. Whipped away for 4, and Sanath Jayasuriya joins Aravinda De Silva and Brendan Kurupu as a double 100 maker in Test cricket for Sri Lanka. Applause from his teammates and from his supporters around the ground. History being made here at the Premadasa Stadium. 203 to Sanath Jayasuriya, and Sri Lanka 354 for 1.
Oh, that's a lovely shot. Got everything covered on top of it, and again finding the gap on the onside.
Up and under, and that's 4 more. We've seen 9 wickets fall in 20 hours in this test match so far. I can't imagine we're going to see something like another 19-4 in the next 9 hours of test cricket, but just a very easy up and under, just sitting with the spin, just enough room to work with. Surya very strong at all parts of the wicket. Slower ball in the air, finally a false shot. Haven't been very many of them, but I think at last the bowlers are starting to create a few doubts in the mind of the batsman and drawing the odd mistake.
In the right place, it'll cause some difficulty.
Again, this time it's a thick outside edge. It'll go to the boundary, and that'll bring up the 400-run partnership between these two. So the records continue to mount. And again, just a tentative shot there from Jayasuriya. I believe the footmarks are just causing him some concern. He's just not quite as confident as he was in the previous 4 or 5 sessions.
Yes, and that'll show us 8 runs in the book, but really, Kumble, he can feel a bit aggrieved. He's bowled 2 very good deliveries.
There it is. 250.
Crowd really enjoying this batting spectacle by both Jayasuriya and Mahanama. So Jayasuriya achieving the landmark of getting up to 250.
That's it. He becomes the highest scorer for Sri Lanka in Test cricket. He gets a pat on his back from Roshan Mahanama as he crosses over. And the Sri Lankan dressing room giving him a very good ovation. Highest score by a Sri Lankan in Test cricket.
That's a rare boundary for Jayasuriya. He hasn't hit many since lunch, but he's got hold of that one and swept it away square for 4.
There's that statistic for you. The highest first-class score in Sri Lanka, now made by Sanath Jayasuriya. The previous highest of Frank Worrell. And the few occasions where he's gone over the top. It's 4 runs to deep mid-wicket there. And the partnership now worth 501.
Jayasuriya, who's not taken the aerial route very often, just remember just the second occasion that he did this. Both batsmen seem to be getting tied down by the 2 Indian spinners, Chawan and Kulkarni.
And he goes again. This time he's middled it. And it's the first six of Jayasuriya's innings, taking him to 299.
So Jayasuriya doesn't seem to have any nervousness when he gets to the 90s. And when he was in the 190s, he went in an aggressive mode and seems to be repeating this in the 290s. So he moves on to 297 with that six. So that's the first one over the line. So Jayasuriya seems to be taking the attack on when he gets in the 90s. He's on the front foot looking for the one and went with the shot. So just one run away from the elusive 300.
And he reaches his triple hundred in glorious fashion, smashing Kulkarni over mid-on, one bounce across the rope. So what a triple hundred here for Sanath Jayasuriya.
Yes, and what a way to bring it up. Really was a terrific shot, very controlled. Tendulkar done all the right things. 4 in the circle on the offside, 3 on the leg side. And he just took one step down the wicket, seeing it like a football now. Really has been a long time, and just flicked it over the top. Magnificent effort, marathon effort. For 300 in the test match, Jayasuriya joins a very elite circle of players. And the first Sri Lankan to make 300 in a test match.
And he goes in the air this time. He's timed it beautifully. It's his second six.
Yes, and Chan just straying onto that leg stump. A little bit of pressure relieved now. He's got his 300. You can see this one just drifting on the leg stump, and Jayasuriya just picked it up beautifully. Drop kicked it right over the boundary. And such good timing. Over it goes. Well fielded, sir.
The timing was so good, it was hit against the spin. And this time he plays a lovely shot through mid-wicket. Again in total control. Again a chase for the Indian fielders. And again the ball wins.
Yeah, that's a tough one for the fielders at this time. Been out there for 2 days. And Kuravilla, the strike bowler, giving chase. He's had 1 or 2 long chases. Just pushed into the gap. Again onto leg stump. And just flicked it away. Long chase. Really not making much headway onto the ball, and just arriving as it gets there, and just see it go over the rope.
So there you are. If these two survive, it's been the first partnership in Test cricket to survive 2 entire days. Jayasuriya and Mahanama. Great strength of endurance.
Well, a wicket fall on what was the last ball of the second day's play. It's not going to happen on the 4th day, and what a day it's been for Sri Lanka. That man Jayasuriya, the hero, the king of cricket here in Sri Lanka, has gone on and scored his first 300 in Test cricket, the first 300 by a Sri Lankan batsman in Test cricket, well supported by Roshan Mahanama. The partnership has now grown to 548, and congratulations from the Indian bowlers. They might as well enjoy it. They realise that it's been a tough game for them. Prasad there congratulating him. It's in fact his birthday, Venkatesh Prasad, today, and the Sri Lankan captain and the Sri Lankan players stand and applaud these two fellas. 2 full days out in the middle. It's never been done before. Highest partnership in Test cricket. 1,093 balls faced between the two of them. 733 minutes of batting. They'll be 2 very tired and proud men. The traditional celebration here for the Sri Lankans. Some firecrackers going off in the background. The press is there. Everybody will want to know these two fellows. They'll want photographs. They'll want to talk to them. And there'll be plenty of congratulations. I have no doubt there'll be many supporters around the team hotel tonight to congratulate these two fellows on a wonderful performance. Great skill and endurance that has basically taken Sri Lanka to safety in this test match. A 50-run lead, India having made 537 for 8.
And he adds to his runs here. That'll go all the way for 4. So Sanath Jayasuriya has got the crowd going. End of the first over, and Jayasuriya's first scoring shot is a 4. That's his favourite area, and most of the 34 boundaries he has hit have come through there. 592 for 1.
The pressure certainly would be off Jayasuriya as well.
This pair have now carried their partnership above 2 already in this short space of time, moved up from 5th. They're up to 3rd, and that's going to be another 4 for Jayasuriya. They're doing it in style.
So Jayasuriya showing that he's certainly not lost his composure, taking a cue from his partner Roshan Mahanama, and that time just leaning onto that delivery, a flighted one from Kumble, and picking the gap, bisecting the two fielders on the offside. Everything in position, and the ball just racing, scorching the grass as it goes to the boundary.
Another one. Well, they might have thought they were coming to a test match, but this is very much the one-day variety at which Sri Lanka are so good. 4s in every direction.
The vast crowd bringing about this limited over atmosphere. The drum beats, flags fluttering around, and Jayasuriya and Mahanama providing the fireworks.
Jayasuriya now pushing on to 338 with those 2 boundaries. He's gone past Graham Gooch's 333 on the list of all-time high scores in Test cricket. Well, they've got protection out there this time. First over of the day, and the more experienced Rajesh Chauhan has come on. He's gone. Jayasuriya caught at silly point, so the record will elude the left-hander, and he walks off in disappointment. And for the second time in a few minutes, the Premadasa Stadium is hushed. Pats on the back from the Indians, sympathy from them, and shock around the ground as Jayasuriya is caught at silly point for 340.
Certainly a stunned crowd here at the Premadasa Stadium as Jayasuriya walks back. These partnerships usually go when one batsman's out, the other goes as well, and Jayasuriya is no different. He's gone, very cleverly taken by Chauhan. The crowd rises in appreciation, the Sri Lankan dressing room. Jayasuriya, no doubt, very disappointed, but a great innings coming to an end.
Here is how his innings finally ended, the first time he had given a chance through it.
A very good delivery there by Rajesh Chauhan, getting that ball to bite and turn. Jayasuriya pushed on the back foot, getting it on the middle of the bat, but a little bit of bounce that time for Chauhan. And really the soft hands weren't there for Jayasuriya, and the ball just lobbing on to silly mid-off, and you could see Jayasuriya's anxiety as soon as it left the bat.
Simple catch to the silly point fielder. And elation for the Indians. Rahul Ganguly picking up the catch and then immediately coming across. You'll see these are professional cricketers together. They realize what a wonderful performance this has been by Jayasuriya, and they also realize what a disappointment it would have been for him to be out so close to what would have been the world record, the most coveted international and individual record in the game. And there's Ganguly, having taken the catch, coming up and expressing his sympathy to Jayasuriya, and all the Indian players come across. And that is the meaning of international sportsmanship.